Hello, can you guys see the live feed? Okay, two thumbs up. You can see the live feed, right? So cell service is going out. I'm out here in Hutchison Island and South End, and so the wind's picking up. It's starting to howl outside, and of course the tropical storm Nicole is back coming in out here, and the winds are the trees. Every time a band hits us, winds gusts to about 60, 55, 60, and it keeps getting stronger and stronger. The waves just outside the door here, the waves are getting bigger. Step outside here for a second. I'm also bringing you this via Starlink. Cell service is out. This is Starlink uplink to satellite right now. It's how you're getting the feed, which is just awesome. And if you look over the wall here, this is going to be the ocean. It's getting bigger. You know, the waves are coming in. Not high tide. Won't be high tide till after midnight. But the waves are still large and pounding here. And as the bands keep getting closer, the heavier bands, the winds are picking up. A few palms are down here and there. But anyway, the trees are starting to blow pretty good. And again, this is, yeah, again, waiting for the tropical storm Nicole to get upgraded to hurricane. It should be in the next hour or two. It's very close to hurricane strength now. And satellite looks extremely impressive. Radar, it looks very impressive now. So it's starting to pick up. But again, this is brought to you by Starlink. It's been awesome. It's up. It took me about 30 seconds to turn it up, get it up. Okay. So here's the long-range Fort Lauderdale radar. We see the eye. It's pretty much on track right now. It's past Greater Abaco. It's moving kind of west, maybe slightly west-southwest, but almost due west now. It's approaching Freeport. And so as it continues to track this way, again, it's got in that general direction, right? But as soon as these outer bands, which is not that far now, if we look at this, so getting some bands in this area. But as you look at this area, those heavier squalls are about 5-6 hours out, 10 miles an hour. It's about 5-6 hours out. About 9 o'clock tonight, this is where we're going to start picking up the 70 plus mile an hour wind. 70 to 110 is in this core right here. As that comes in about 9 o'clock, 9 to about 2 in the morning, we should have a big swath of hurricane force winds onshore. And obviously to the north of this, you've got 15 to 25 foot waves now all up and down the coast here. We got 15 to 16 foot waves that are like this. And then as you get over in this general area right here, we got 25 to 30 foot waves, and they're basically heading this way, right? So going to have tremendous, or you have tremendous large battering waves all up and down the coast, Savannah all the way down the coast of Florida, east coast of Florida, large battering waves eating away at the coastline. That continues. The other thing that's going to intensify as we get overnight tonight is going to be the hurricane threat. So as it approaches the coast, and we get some more drier wrapping around the backside tomorrow morning, the models are very persistent that we're going to have tornadoes developing. You're going to have onshore tornadoes like this around 10 to midnight, and then as the hurricane pulls off to the northeast, it's supposed to be hurricane here this afternoon. So it does this or it comes up like this. As it pulls northeast, there's going to be this big dry slot that's going to come in from the southwest, and this area up in this area is going to have a significant outbreak of tornadoes tomorrow. From Jacksonville, Savannah. Matter of fact, I will be chasing tornadoes tomorrow. I expect significant tornadoes tomorrow. They're going to be rotating here, bands of tornadoes. These are going to be not just water spouts, the small ones. These are going to be damaging tornadoes. So I expect significant tornadoes up in this area tomorrow, mid-morning on, shortly after sunrise. Sunrise will be in the Jacksonville area. And then as we get 9, 10 o'clock in this area in Savannah, we're probably in the 4 to 5 o'clock area. I'll look for significant tornadoes here tomorrow, right? As those feeder bands come online. Let's look at satellite, because satellites has gotten, it's getting better and better. Here's the IR, and we'll let it load. And you can continue to see that the waves are getting, we're still getting these bursts, which is telling you it's still trying to intensify. Obviously, we still got drier back south here, but you can see that we still have good bursts. Let's go over here to visible, because visible looked pretty good earlier. Again, look at that. Wow, let's just let it load here. Wow, 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 wow. I want you to look at that deep explosion. Look how that dense overcast, as this past greater overcoat, is getting this real warm water now. From this point on, the model says it's going to possibly drop about another 10 millibars. So we should see some intensification between now and time of landfall. We should see continuous, pressure is going to continue to fall, and we should make hurricane within the next hour or two. And then from then on, we should be hurricane all the way to the coast. And you can see this tremendous, deep, new, heavy convection exploding near the center. So this will continue to, just south of the nuclear plant. That's correct. So that's kind of what's going on right now, and we'll see. And here's the let me update this. This is the Bahama radar. Let me hit this again. This is about an hour ago, and it's taking a few seconds here for this to load. That's what the radar looked like about, probably about an hour ago, right? So as it continues to move to the east or to the west, it'll set up, it'll go just over Freeport area, and then it'll end up going on up. Yeah. Will you be in Jacksonville tomorrow? Yes, I will be up in that area, probably early morning in Jacksonville, shortly around sunrise or there shortly thereafter, up the I-95 corridor. Here's the loop. There's the time. Watch this thing as it comes into focus here. Here comes the eye. Boom. There it goes. The eye is dropping west-southwestward. Greater Okeechobee goes over Greater Okeechobee, and then it's kind of moving west. The eye spreads out. The last Hurricane Hunter report was 25 nautical mile eye, which is what we're seeing on the radar as well. And the models say that eye could close in maybe at about 15 miles diameter as we approach this evening and overnight tonight. Expect the eye to shrink a little bit, and I also expect a little bit more of a stronger hurricane, right, as we continue. But anyway, that's it for right now. Just battering waves. There'll be a new update from the Hurricane Center soon, here in about 20 minutes now at 4 o'clock Eastern time. We'll have a new update from the Hurricane Center. We'll see if they're going to issue a hurricane at this time. If it makes hurricane status. Yeah, I'm just looking at the damage. There's damage, all kinds of damage coming in from Daytona Beach from the previous hurricane, the seawalls and the damage from the Outer Barrier Islands. It's just a lot of docks and piers and things like that being damaged this morning during high tide. Juno Beach now is reporting wind gusts of 59 miles an hour. That's off a Mesonet site. It's Juno Beach, 59. So we've got strong tropical storm force winds, not quite hurricane. Probably about 2 to 3 hours, we'll have hurricane force winds coming ashore, right? That's the way it looks. So anyway, this is Hutchison Island right now. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it goes south of us or north of us or that area. But that's what's going on. The Starlink deal is just working out fantastic. You don't have cell service, I highly recommend Starlink. They got a brand new one out that goes flat on top of the vehicle. You got one that's a flat dish. It's about 18 by 24 inches. It's flat, low profile. And again, it will take, as the hurricane approaches, besides these 5, 10, and then 15, 20-foot waves offshore, and you see you've got just massive breakers here. As we get toward midnight, 1 o'clock hour along the coastline here, especially in the south, in this area, the water's going to come up about 4 feet, roughly 4 to 5. The whole ocean's going to rise about 4 to 5 feet at high tide. Then we're going to have the large battered waves on top of it. So we're going to have a lot of areas along the coast that are going to overtopple. You're going to have water crash over the sand dunes. You're going to have water in between the buildings, and you'll have some water going into buildings from here all the way north up to Jacksonville. All on the coast here, you'll have storm surge water coming into buildings and in between houses and over the dunes. So I can tell you, these are massive, large battering waves. These are actually some of the most impressive waves I've seen in about 4 years for hurricanes. These are just, hurricanes produces big waves, but this wind fetch is so large in such a big area, it's just generating these huge swells, and they're coming very rapidly. You can see how big these swells are. And when that water rises about 4 foot tonight after dark, you're going to see a lot of damage. Okay. Yeah. I've got my earpods in, so you might have a little bit of wind, but try to negate there's all kinds of tricks to keep that from happening. Okay, so that's it for right now. I'll give you another update for a while. Looks like this building over here looks like we got hurricane shutters on most of the buildings. I guess maybe some upper floors didn't do it or didn't want to do it. Didn't have them all closed. But anyway, that's kind of the update for right now. We'll get back with you if I see anything happening. But I look for things to really go downhill rapidly shortly after dark. But really, about 9 o'clock on, it's going to be full throttle hurricane force winds, damaging winds, power outages, storm surge making ashore from 9 on. It's all on the coast here, southeast coast, Stewart area, especially on up to Jensen Beach. All the way north up there, just south of Milburn. That's where you're going to see tremendous storm surges. We get toward that 11, midnight, 1, 2 a.m. time frame. Damaging winds and storm surge, and also power outages as well. So that's when things are going to get really crazy. Okay, we'll bring you guys live a little bit later. Thank you.